now that would completely change the direction of the future rooted and rising. All right. And what Spirit is communicating is that with the cards, that once people truly begin building something together, they start making different decisions. All right. They start planning differently, dreaming differently, moving differently, because now they aren't building, for one, they're not building just for themselves. They're building for something bigger than themselves. All right. That's why I'm saying for some of you rooted and rising, this is a literal pregnancy, and for others, it is symbolic of what pregnancy brings. All right. For those who are in King of Pentacle or Emperor energy, right? The masculine energy, the masculine will move differently when someone's expecting. All right. I'm not talking about baby daddy energy. Like, oh, that's your problem. Okay? I'm talking about Emperor energy and King of Pentacle energy. Well, they begin to move differently, plan differently, think differently. All right? And they may start acting on things that they were putting off. All right? They may start planning bigger, obviously, because it's like, okay, well, now we have to do this. All right? And now I have to work and move in a different way. And for some of those highly masculine energies, like King of Pentacles, but highly masculine, I mentioned, but very stable in their emotions and stable in every way. And the emperor, about protocols and how things are supposed to be done anyway. And even setting up kind of our building foundations in a sense. The emperor, people who are in that energy tend to, sometimes it gives them a purpose. That's what I'm trying to say. More like a purpose. All right. Now they say, okay, now I got to really do this thing. All right. I was already rooted and rising. I was already doing this thing. Now I've got to do this thing. It may give them momentum and drive to move differently. Maybe a little more confidently, more King of Wands, with passion, with fire, a little bit more. Put the spark on in them because, you know what I mean? They have a reason and a purpose, all right? Legacy is the reason and the purpose. Okay, legacy is on its way. All right, can't sit around eating Cheetos, playing the Xbox, all right? Just saying. Okay, let me end this, all right? Let me end it. Let me end that. So rooted and rising. All right. The chapter ending now was never meant to be your final destination. It was a season, a lesson, a cycle. All right. And while some may struggle to understand the choices that come next, Spirit says your life was never meant, absolutely not, obviously, never meant to be directed by opinions. Absolutely not. People who aren't living it, all right? You can get advice, but at the same time, you have to make the ultimate decision, and you have to be very discerning, even for people have your best interest in mind and that you normally go to for sound advice. Sometimes you have to even discern that, and not to discern the truth in it because, they're trustworthy, but you just take what needs to be taken and leave what doesn't. And then if you turn out to, you have to just start learning to trust yourself. It is what it is. Not every decision is going to be right. You have to make some wrong choices in order to learn and to grow and to mature. All right. So be confident and be okay in being wrong. All right. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. I tell my child that all the time. And I admit when I'm wrong all the time. I don't have embarrassment about being wrong. I know how, he was raised that you had to be right at everything. But no, I don't have a problem admitting that I was wrong. It means I don't have a problem learning. All right. So the plot twist isn't that everything is changing. The plot twist is that what you've been hoping, praying, preparing, and quietly moving toward is fully becoming real in the tangible. It is here. All right. It's here and it's time. All right. Spirit says, trust the ending. All right. Because that's what it is. It's an ending. All right. But it's a beautiful ending, even if it doesn't feel beautiful. Trust the beginning. Trust what is being created. All right. Because it's what you desired. It is what you desired and desire. All right. All right. Again, what waits on the other side of this transition, rooted and rising, is far greater than what you're leaving behind. I want to pull. I guess sometimes I like to see or pull from a deck. I don't know which one to do. No, I don't know. I'm a little scared about what we might get. I think this one is true or false. Flame. This is the Oracle deck. True or false flame. Here's the box. Flame. True or false. And this one, it's divided into colors. I think rainbow is like, I need to whip some because my arms are short. Rainbow is like the, you know, the portion of the relationship that's wonderful. And then green was like the toxic. And sometimes we do a spread on it if you get mix and match, you know, sometimes because not everything is perfect, even in your divine connection, you know, it can tell you something there. Or you can get mostly green is telling you, oh, back away. But let's just do an unknown card and we'll see if we're talking about the future, what connection, or if we're talking about what you're leaving behind. Rooted and rising. I'm going to separate this. Oh, Jesus. Well, we got more than one. I'm just reading and I got to make sure the cards are appropriate too. Well, we got 2 greens. Okay, chasing potential. I guess I can move my nail out of the way. You might be. I don't know if I can hold it without the nail at the top. All right, and that says chasing potential. There's a difference between growing together and waiting for someone to catch up. Be honest about which one you're doing. Well, which one are you doing, rooted and rising? Chasing potential or waiting for someone to catch up? All right, fantasy. Are you falling for them or for the story you've written in your mind about how this could be? All right, and again, that speaks to disappointments. What you thought was, you know, and what it turned out to be, it wasn't what you wanted. Oh, let's see what curiosity has to say about it. Whether we are, oh Jesus, I didn't even pick them cards up. It's like you got a lot to say. I don't want to do all 3 of these. Oh, I don't know. Okay, sometimes it says tough. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's a little too much to be business, but okay. Going viral. Visibility is off the charts and the energy is contagious. This moment has reach, reactions, of recognition. All right. It could be your dynamic of what you are entering into. Also, I hate to say it, if you might got a bit of gossip going around you there, rooted and rising, based on these other ones that fell out. All right, going broke. The bills are stacking, the funds are shrinking, and the lifestyle isn't matching the bank account anymore. The spirit wants to seem to warn you about what you is walking away from, what needs to fully close. Either you're on the way to close it, or it's already closed, or it's just about closed, or you need to make a decision to close it, or what you're walking away from. And then canceled. They crossed the line. Now they're being called out and torn down. A fall from grace hits harder when it's public. Yeah, going viral right here. You're going to have to be, that's the one I just read. When I spoke that you're going to have to be very secure in who you are and very secure and confident in that emperor energy and in that empress energy where people have to respect you. They're going to have their opinions, but it sounds like whatever it is, gossip has already started. All right. But don't let it discourage you. Don't let it dishearten you. Don't let it rock who you really are. You're emperor. You're empress. All right. You don't bow to other people. They bow to you. All right. Just walk around with that attitude. I'm not saying be arrogant. You don't have to step down in your confidence, in your energy for anybody. People are going to say what they're going to say, okay? Especially if you are out invisible, which a lot of you seem to be, all right? But this going viral sounds more like you've got some people talking. All right, wherever you're going, wherever you're headed, and that can be, again, with an environment or a relationship, people are already talking. Oh, well, sometimes I don't like to pull out. You gonna get people's business, but yeah. All right. Be comfortable in you. All right. People are going to have something to say. Be confident in who you are. It doesn't change who you are. All right. He without sin cast the first stone. In other words, who are they to talk? Everybody's got some dirty laundry we can pull right on up. I got plenty of it. All right. And someone, has even tried to throw that in my face. All right. In arguments. And I'm so accountable. I don't care. And I said it. And I did it. Nene leaks all day. I said what I said. I did what I said. Okay. And what does that change? You throwing it in my face. Does it change who I am? Absolutely not. You are going to have to start carrying that energy with you because people are going to talk regardless. Okay? All right. As always, stay rooted. Stay rising. Oh, I don't want to finish. I'm going to break this up in 2 parts because this is very long. I did not know this reading was going to be this long, rooted and rising. So we'll do part 1, part 2, because I think this is about 2 hours. All right. As always, stay rooted, stay rising, and align with all the divine gifts ahead.